Hello there, my name's Tom. I come to you from the North Maine Woods in Maine. I've had some questions lately about my Firebag and what I carry in it and what it is. So I figured I would answer some of them questions today. You might hear a vehicle in the background. I am not at the cabin today. I am down at the fire pit area on the swamp where my home base is. I will not get back to the cabin for a few days. But this bag has so many purposes. I can use it as a pillow, number one. I can use it for storage, number two. This is a pant leg off an old pair of wool pants. I've cut the bottom off and just sewed it shut. I put a little drawstring in the top. But the reason I like it is wool acts as a wick. And it'll pull the moisture out of, if I put grass in here or I put bark in here, whatever, it'll pull the moisture out. And it's a real handy bag for just putting as I go through the woods during the day, I pick stuff up, whether it be grasses or birch bark. So I kind of wanted to just show you, and it's not just that stuff in here, I have equipment in here. This is a can right here of punk wood. That's always in my fire bag, just enough to get my first fire built. You know, that first fire mentality. I have a tin. This is my tin for making charred punk wood. That is always in there. Inside of this tin, I keep jute twine. I keep, this is a piece of steel wool, another great fire source. I have a stone here for sharpening my knives. I also carry a Bic lighter in here. All that fits in that little can. So, and then I have my tin for making charred punk wood. So all that's in there. I have birch bark. It's a great place to store a handful of birch bark. This right here, you're going to say, what the heck is that? This is a clamshell. I got this a few years ago when I was down on the coast, down there foraging for some food. I did a little trip down there just for that. It was actually quite a bit of fun. That's in there. The purpose that this is in there, one is it's a spoon. It's something I can use to eat off, but also I can take fat wood and I can shave the shavings of fat wood from my knife into here, and I've got a nice collector for collecting the fat wood. And it's from nature. I love stuff that I pick up in nature because, to me, I like to say that you can find almost anything you need out there. So what else is in here? There's just a whole bunch of stuff. I also have a little fire bag in here. And in this fire bag is where I keep my my steel. Keep my steel in there. I keep a piece of flint in there. I have another little small piece of flint. All of that is in there. I have a knife in there. This is one of those 3 knives. That's in my fire bag. It has a 90-degree edge, so I can use it on my fire rod. It has a skinning tool, so I can use it for skinning animals. It has a saw blade. I don't use it for sawing trees. I think it is useless for that. But what it is really good for is making those fine fibers that you need for a flint and steel or for a fire rod. Lots and lots of uses for a knife like that. That's in there. So as long as I have my fire bag, I've literally got everything I need to spend the night. Now you can't see these little pieces here, but them little pieces right there, those are in my fire bag. What they are is inner tubes from a bicycle. I cut them down. That makes an awesome fire starter. On a rainy day when you're having problems, and then in my pocket, I always have my flint and steel lighter. But this stuff right here, you get this stuff lit, a piece of inner tube on a rainy day, I realize it's not a man-made, it's not a natural tinder, but it takes up so little room in the fire bag that I can't see why you wouldn't want to carry it. Now that'll burn. I'll get it over here where you can see it. On a rainy day, that's a nice fire starter. More birch bark. I have a piece of fat wood in there. Probably gonna, oh yeah. Also in this bag, this right here is another little tin, and in here is where I keep a magnifying glass. I always have a magnifying glass with me when I'm out in the woods. See how that inner tube burns? That is perfect for when you've got a day where everything is absolutely wet. I am a self-rescuer. I think it is very important that you be able to take care of yourself when you're out in the woods, no matter what you need to use to get the job done. If it's a piece of inner tube, if it's a lighter, if it's a flint and steel, it doesn't matter. Everything has a time and everything has a place. But this is a renewable resource. I will never use it up. That's why this is the lens out of an old pair of binoculars. This is always with me. We have a lot of great sun up here. Even in low sun, you can still get a fire built with this. It is very simple to do. It is very easy to do. I will put a link in this video to how I light charred punkwood with this. It takes a matter of seconds to light charred punkwood. I do not understand why more outdoorsmen do not have this in their fire bag. That is a must in my bag because it will never ever run out. More fat wood. Probably just gonna dump it out now. Now the bag is empty. I have more of that inner tube. I have more fat wood. This is a piece of chaga. Here's some more stones for flint. Piece of quartz for flint and steel, and this right here is a piece of waxed jute twine. This is jute twine that I weave together with 3 strands. Was it 3 or 4? There's 3 strands of jute twine that I braided together like girls would braid their hair, and then I dipped it in paraphernalia wax. And this is why there's a knife in this pack. I have one on my belt, but I always have one in the fire bag. As you can see in this fire bag, there are several methods for building a fire. In the North Maine Woods, it doesn't matter how you get that fire built, you have to get that fire built to spend the night. Especially, we do a lot of ice fishing, we do a lot of snowmobiling. This right here is waxed jute twine. Jute twine on itself is great. Throw some wax on there and it's even better. You can dip this into water. You can put this into water. You can leave it there for 2 or 3 days and it will still light. Take it out, dry it off. It's still a fire starter. And as you can see, I only took 1 inch off there. As you can see, that will burn and burn and burn and burn. This right here is 3 pieces of fat wood that I put some inner tube around. The reason that I did that is my daughter needed, she's a hiker, and what she needed, I needed to know that she had stuff in her pack that she could get a fire built. Without all this other stuff, she's gonna travel light. So I put this together for her. It's a piece of fat wood, 3 little pieces of fat wood with inner tube around it. Now you don't want to light that inner tube when it's around the stick like that, because what happens is when it melts through, it just kind of explodes. So what you do is you take this inner tube off and you get it lit These are what I built for her so that she would have what I knew she would have in her pack, and that in her lighter, and she could get a fire built. So then you could just put your fat wood on top of that inner tube, and she can have a fire. That's enough to get her started. So, but don't, if you light this, you'll see, you light that. My plan was at first was to just light that inner tube up, and then she could build a fire that way, real simple, real easy. It didn't work. Once, this is like an elastic, and once it melted through, it exploded, and the kindling went everywhere. So the second thought was take the inner tube off, get it lit, throw your fat wood on top of that, and then she can start adding wood to it like that. So that's why this is in the pack. This was an experiment that I put together for her. Works great, and that's why you see that. And I always have a piece of chaga in my pack. Up here I hunt for it regular. Chaga and a stick bundle are great together. In here, I did a video, I can put a link to this. This is a piece of pine sap. It oozes out of the trees up north from a bug, and it gets the size of a golf ball. But this, I did a video on this. I can also put a link to this so that you can see this. The link will be down in the description area. But you see how that took off right there? That is fat wood and that little piece of inner tube. So if you're a hiker or you're a snowmobiler or anything like that, I think that is a pretty good thing to carry on your snowmobile or in your four-wheeler or in your pack. That's a big fire. I built it for her, and I thought she could get a decent fire going with that. She does not have the fire experience that I do. And I think anybody that doesn't, I think this is a really good alternative as a bushman skill or a woodsman skill. Like I said, it's not, everything has a time and a place. As much as I like flint and steel, as much as I like the magnifying glass, I do not think that it is good for everybody unless they're willing to get out and practice their craft. As you can see, the black smoke coming off there is from the fat wood. The inner tube is long gone. That is more than a good fire for a novice to be able to get a fire going in the North Maine Woods. So this wraps up everything that's in my fire bag. The only thing that wasn't in there is, as I travel through the day, I pick up punk wood. So I would probably toss a couple of handfuls of raw punk wood in there, because as I've showed in other videos, it is really easy to transfer a spark to good quality punk wood. And I have a video up there that has good quality punk wood, where to find it, how to use it, and all of that. So I will probably put a link to that in the description of this video also. But that will wrap up what the woodsman carries in his fire bag. And like I said, if I want to take a nap at noontime, I've got myself a pillow, and I've always got me a collector bag on top of that. These are the things that I keep in my fire bag, and this is more important to me than a lot of other gear that I see other people carrying. I would rather carry this and be ready on any of the days that you're up here in the North Maine Woods. This will wrap up my video on what I carry in my fire bag. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions at all on any of the things that are in my bag, drop me a comment. Be more than happy to answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like the station, show us a little bit of love, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you on the next video. So have a great evening, and we will see you next time.